I'm triggered and fascinated when people tell me that something seems to be impossible, and luckily many people tell it seems to be impossible. Few only tell that is not possible. And I think there is for everything a solution. The only thing is that maybe today we don't know how. And that's all. And that is what fascinates me, to dig until I find the way how to solve this problem. What then, of course, is not a problem anymore. Oh, yes. I had, as I told, I still learn, and I had to learn a lot. And for me, watchmaking has something to do with perfection. It was on one of the first clocks that I built it for me. I polished the spokes of each wheel, not for hours, but for days and weeks, every spoke, until it was perfectly polished. The whole surface, in the corners, then around. That was really exhausting work. And when the watch was assembled, nobody ever gave any comment. Nothing, oh nice, even the spokes are polished. Years later, I made another clock, and there, because it's too much work, I simply sandblasted the inner side of the spokes. And that took just a very few hours for the whole clock. And there people gave the comment and said, oh, so nice, the contrast you made between those matte parts and the polished parts. So I said, oh, why? I spent weeks because I thought it has to be all perfect polished. No, there are moments when you really have to learn and get down a little bit from obsession. The whole journey was quite difficult because don't forget that independent watchmaking only became famous or desired some 10 years ago. Before, it was rather something for exotics, and it was not easy to have a living on this. It was difficult to stay on it, but hopefully there had been people like George Daniels, whom I called once when I really did want to give up. And it was him who said, no, I saw what you are able to do. Please stay in the watchmaking. There was a moment when I had the feeling it's not worth to continue, because all what you could do for the living was to repair antique and old clocks. And I wanted to make something new. I did not want to repeat what the others invented, what the others built it up. It is interesting to find when you have a fragment, when you have half of the watch left over, and you have to reimagine and redesign and remanufacture. Yes, that keeps you for a few years. It kept me for a few years interested, but I really want to do my own thing. I want to make those escapements, what I could read about, that because of material, because of technology, did not see the light of the day. I want to bring them to life, because this fascination is there and it needs satisfaction. There was no space, for nobody was interested, at least I thought nobody is interested. And so I really reflected if I should not better change the profession. Today, looking back, I think it was good that I did not find an alternative and that I stood in the watchmaking. The answer is very simple but difficult to understand if I say the last detail. The last detail makes the difference between really a wonderful, beautiful watch and the perfect one. I will give you an example. I made one watch for a customer where every screw was aligned in a certain geometric orientation. To get this, I had to make every screw by hand, fix it, number it to know which one is it, and then mark it in which position it comes to an end when it blocks when you fix it. And then according to this mark, I put it down the size of the head of the screw, put the slot in this particular direction, then hardened them, polished them, and then I put it back all the screws, and then they all had been perfectly aligned. Nobody realized that. Only when the piece what I made as a double to control if all technique is functioning, there I did not make this little detail. And people saw the bows and said, oh, here, that's the prototype, here you tested. All is the very same. Everything was same beside of the orientation of the slots in the screws. Nobody was able to tell me what's the difference. Everybody saw it in comparison. So imagine the perfect one is not there, then you have a beautiful, well done piece, but it's not yet perfect.